Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. My name is Prispano Jomo Alex. Emotional well-being. How well are you aware of your emotional well-being? Time to time, day to day, how well do you manage your emotions? Are you aware that most of your day-to-day decisions you make are actually influenced by your level of emotional awareness? So today we are going to be looking at emotional well-being in the now. How do you regulate your emotional well-being in every moment that you find yourself, when you wake up, when you sleep, when you are triggered? How do you regulate those emotions? I have a very wonderful coach with me, emotional awareness coach. She's a friend of the show. She have appeared couples of times, and I wish we have more time to actually deliberate on so many things. Her name is Sexy Toyi, and she is the executive emotional awareness coach, certified cognitive behavior therapist, and an organizational culture management consultant, and also neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. Oh, welcome to the program, Sexy.
Thank you so
So
much.
good to have you
Thank
again.
you.
So
Thank
good
you
to
so
have
much.
you. First, let's look at emotional well-being in the now. Why the now?
Hmm. Okay. First of all, it's very important to note that we are emotional beings. As human beings, we are emotional beings. Just put it as emotional beings instead of human beings. So if you're
Okay,
not,
emotional being instead of a human being.
yes, just when we're discussing this topic, have that at the back of your
Okay.
mind, emotional being instead of human being. That will help you understand how important it is to have your emotions in check, to understand your emotions, to be able to accept your emotions, and to be able to make your emotions work for you and not against you. Why emotional well-being in the now? Just like you said, every decision we make as human beings is because we're emotional beings. So even if you say you are logical, first and foremost, it will pass through your emotional filter. Every decision you have to make will pass through your emotional filter, then through your logical filter before you make that decision. So emotional wellness in the now is very important for your health, for your mental well-being, for your decision making, for boundaries, for setting boundaries as well, for your beliefs, for understanding why you are afraid about certain things. Emotional well-being in the now is very, very important. That's just it in a nutshell.
Okay, now let's connect it to uh, how can I take control of, because we're talking about the now. How can I take control of my emotion from every moment to moment?
Okay, I would like to, normally when people talk about taking control of themselves,
Or managing, let me use the word.
yeah, managing is a better word. But I will focus on that control because a lot of people talk about trying to control their anger, trying to control their thoughts and all of that. The truth of the matter is that whenever you feel an emotion, you should befriend it. Now, the word befriend
Okay,
is,
whenever I feel an emotion, I should befriend it. Can you
yes, yes.
explain this further?
Befriend in the sense that you inquire what the emotion is telling you.
Okay.
Most times, emotions you feel is what is happening in your mind and in your body. So, your body doesn't have the mouth to speak, it's your emotions that will tell you. Your mind literally cannot translate into English, it's your emotions that will tell you. So, if you notice you're feeling irritated, as your emotions, then your mind is trying to tell you that there's something you are thinking that is triggering that irritation, or your body is trying to process something, so it brings about that emotion. So that's what it means to befriend your emotion, to inquire of it, and then to now navigate it, to use it to help you in making decision. When you inquire of it and you find out that, okay, one of the reasons I'm feeling angry is probably I'm thinking of a past experience, and then after you think of that part, you then process the thoughts. There's a systematic way of processing thoughts, and if you learn that
Systematic way
way
of
of
processing
processing thoughts,
thoughts.
yes, if you learn that way, you can actually process your thoughts in no time flat, as in very, very, very quickly. Mostly it involves cognitive reframe. If you're able to reframe your cognition about an issue, And then you're able to bend reality as well. It also involves bending of reality. These are some technical terms, but there are tips that I could give at the end of this talk
Okay.
on how to process thoughts and all of that. So befriending your emotion, not controlling it, and when you befriend your emotion, use it to navigate the decisions you want to make. It's just like a current of water, torrent of water, as in like the water from Usman Dam. The current that it flows with is very mighty. So some people's anger can be that, the outburst can be that loud and that great. The magnitude can be very loud. But if you can understand the current, watch the current, and then use that current to navigate and use that power to your advantage, you gain a lot more.
But people will tell you, this is who I am. It's like they feel helpless about that. Maybe people who have anger problem, they will tell you, oh, this is just who I am. So whenever I'm angry, I have no control over it. How true is this?
And that is why I use the word not to control, but to befriend it. Because like I said, when that strong current comes, you use the power of the current to navigate.
How do you befriend your emotions? Because, yeah, I know people live in denial. They don't want to tame with their emotions. Or some people admit to it helplessly, like, oh, this is who I am. This is the way I have always been. So how will you befriend your emotions?
Okay, let's use a practical example of someone that's angry, triggered by maybe a comment or a situation. The first things first, now we're going through practical, real life situations. The first things first, especially when you know from experience that you easily react like that. There are some proactive steps to take, but let's just imagine that you are in that situation. Remove yourself from that situation. First things first. And then deep breathe. And then try and understand, why am I so angry? I feel disrespected.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a way to befriend your emotion. You're asking, it's just
So
like
you have
me
to
now,
analyze the.
yeah, asking questions. It's like me now meeting you and then you're just so upset. The first thing I'll do is I'll allow you to, first of all, go away, which is taking you out of the situation. Then I come to meet you. Why are you so angry? And I'm not asking you because I'm trying to derogate the anger, but let's even find out. I feel disrespected. Why should that be spoken to me that way? Why should, and then on that note, you begin to ask yourself, okay, this person has disrespected me. You've isolated the problem. Then look at it from that person's point of view. Did this person disrespect me to hurt me? And even if they did that to hurt me, am I giving them room to hurt me? Or really, do I have a choice on if I'm going to get hurt by this person's statement? That's not to say that you do not act in a certain way, that you set boundaries and ensure they don't violate your boundaries. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you don't act in such a way that you disempower yourself and you degrade your own emotional state of well-being because you want to respond or react. So that's how you befriend your emotions in a nutshell. First of all, leave that situation. Isolate the problem. What really is it? I feel disrespected. I feel unheard, I feel undervalued and all of that. Once you can know where the problem is, then you can begin to deal with that problem from the root cause of it.
You talk about deep breathing. I'm so interested in that deep breathing. I think I have a little faint knowledge about deep breathing because people tell, oh, when you are angry, deep breathing could be serve as a therapy in how you can actually regulate how you are feeling at that very particular moment. Can you just especially a little bit on the deep breathing?
For me, I believe deep breathing works proactively. It works proactively before the anger, right? And then it still works when you're angry. So if deep breathing is not something you've been practicing and you're waiting till when you're angry to practice it.
Okay, you're saying
might
that
not really work at that point in time.
So it ought to be something you have been practicing before then.
Yes. Deep breathing is something you should have been practicing before then, so that when you get angry, you can really quickly step down and deregulate faster.
So
But
deep
in the
breathing
heat
help
of
you
the
to regulate
anger-
your anger.
Yes, deep breathing helps you to regulate your emotions, regulate your system. Because most people, when they are angry, it's not just the emotion of anger they're feeling. There's a lot. There's anger, there's hurt, there's sadness, there's grief, there's just some people just have a cocktail of emotions at the same time. And that's why I use the example of the current, the water current. If you can actually just look at it and use it to navigate your own self and use it to navigate, you just flow with it and use it to navigate your own self, use it to regulate your own self, you get better outcomes than you trying to control the anger at that point by deep breathing. So what if you've not been practicing deep breathing before and then you are angry at that point? Well, deep breathing will still come in handy. But then there's something you can do. You find out where the sensation of the anger is. So most times when some people are angry, they feel a lump in their chest, a lump in their throat, palpitation of the heart, and all of that. Their hands are quite warm, their feet are quite hot, and all their body is just hot, and it's just a lot. So just pick one sensation and just focus on that sensation. And the more you focus on the sensation, the more you are taking your mind off the anger or off whatever is making you angry. And as you dial down on the sensation, then you can begin to ask yourself, why am I so angry? Okay, if this person is disrespecting me, am I allowing myself to feel disrespected? You know, and then all of that. A therapist will do a deep dive into that for you. It's really a deep dive, you know. It's not something we can just talk about in a few minutes.
Honestly, I will want that. I want a practical exercise on that deep breathing.
Okay.
If it is possible.
Oh yes, it is.
Because people might be wondering, okay, how will I? Because if you actually master deep breathing before that time, you might be able to take charge of your emotion, manage your emotion of the now. What are the steps you have to take first before moving into deep breathing? You have to sit in a particular position. You need a particular space. You need a are there any other thing you need for you to be able to practice that deep breathing?
Of course, deep breathing, you need fresh air because you cannot go into recycled stuff, a stuffy recycled room for that. It will be futile. And then your back, your spine needs to be straight. So even if you're lying down.
Okay, like the way I'm sitting down like this.
Yes, your spine needs to be straight.
Okay, to be straight.
Straight, yes.
Does it need to be rest at something that maybe like the way I'm resting my back
if
at
you
the
could pop a pillow behind you, but for now it's okay.
Okay.
Yes, for now it's okay. And then you close your eyes, and then you take in a deep breath. And
okay,
then
let me do it.
so I'll take you through the 4, 7, 8.
No, first, just take me. Just let's just take, okay.
Yeah, what we're counting is so that you can actually it can be in a rhythmic form. Because
Okay.
deep breathing needs to be rhythmic.
Okay.
The whole concept is you focusing on your breath, and when you focus on your breath, in a way you are regulating your emotions, regulating your entire body system. That is what it means. To focus on your breath, you are in the present, you are in the now. You're taking your mind off the past, you're taking your mind off the future, you are putting your mind on
The now.
the now. A lot of people live in the past, mistakes they've made in the past. They keep beating themselves up about that mistake. A lot of people are scared about the future. But what of the now? Because without the now, you cannot make plans for the future. And without the now, you cannot learn from your past mistakes. So the now is very, very important. To make better decisions, you need to be present in the now. So that's what deep breathing is mostly about. So when you sit up and you close your eyes, so that you can have this rhythmic kind of breathing. We're going to go through the 4, 7, 8. There's the box breathing, 4, 4, 4. But I like the 4, 7, 8 more. I think it's just my preference anyways.
No, you are talking to yourself as a professional. Well, I say I'm an illiterate man before you. So you talk about box. You're getting a bit confused because I don't know what boxes are.
Okay, that's the name. That's the name, box breathing.
Okay.
4, so just like a square, 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. So you would breathe in that box breathing. You breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds,
Okay.
and release for 4 seconds.
Okay.
So just imagine you're drawing an imaginary box, 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. Yes, and you can go through that cycle for as much as you want. I like the 4, 7, 8. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, and then breathe out for 8 seconds. I like that.
How will you time yourself doing this thing?
Oh, you count.
Okay, you count.
You count while you focus on your breath. when we focus on your breathing, you calm. So we could try it.
Okay, let's see.
So you close your eyes.
Okay, let me, so that let them know how I'm closing my eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You close your eyes and you breathe in for 4 seconds. Just focus on your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now breathe out through your mouth. 8 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now another effective trick I didn't give you. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Because we did it the last time. I thought you would remember. When you breathe in, you feel your belly.
Okay, with air. Okay.
So just try and breathe in
Okay.
and take in normal breathing. Try and fill in your belly with air.
Okay.
Push your belly out.
Okay.
Breathe in and push your belly out. Yeah, that's it, that's it, that's it. And then breathe out and push your belly in. Squeeze your tummy towards your spine. Yes, that's it. So we could go through the 4, 7, 8
Okay.
once more.
Okay.
So now breathe in for 4 seconds, pushing your tummy out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it there with your tummy out for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then out for 8 seconds. 1. Now push your tummy in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Did you? I hope your audience heard you say, wow.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I can't explain how I'm feeling. If I'm in the studio doing this exercise, I'm feeling this way. I imagine how it's going to feel like if I'm doing it at home. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's amazing. How often can I do this?
As often as you want.
Or no, let me ask you, do I have a particular moment in every hour of the day I have to do it, or maybe in the morning, afternoon, evening,
I
or
really believe it's your choice.
okay,
As many times as you want. As many times you can be proactive about it, as many times as you want, as many times you begin to feel dysregulated. You can do it as many times as you want.
okay, let's assume that I walk into a space or somebody said something that triggers me and I want to react. Okay, the natural me want to react, maybe violently or whatever I want to react with. How will I use deep breathing to regulate how I'm feeling at the moment?
Like as I said, if you haven't been doing deep breathing before,
No,
just
okay, let's
do that.
assume I have been doing it before
Okay,
now.
okay. The first thing first is to take yourself out of that place.
Environment.
Just take yourself out of the environment because the energies there are not even right at all. Your energy is already dysregulated, so just take yourself out to a different space and do the deep breathing. Find out where the sensation is, especially if you're someone that has a lot of anger, energy. Just where's the sensation? If it's all over your body, pick one that you feel most. Focus on that sensation. Focus on your breath. Do your deep breathing, and then ask yourself, why am I this upset? Okay, they didn't get the work done when they were supposed to get it done. Okay, what does that mean? What meaning am I giving to it? That's another thing. Now I'm going to deep dive a little bit. Most of the time when we are getting angry, we're not getting angry at the situation. We're getting angry at some of our childhood experiences, first-hand experiences of those situations. So most of the issues we have as adults begin from childhood.
Yeah.
So if your caregiver maybe was dismissive towards your emotions and didn't care about your emotions, when you get older and you're at the office and you give a task to your team member and they didn't do it and they are dismissive when giving you a response, when you're getting angry at, you're remembering what your child caregiver did to you in childhood, and that's what you're reacting to. So when I tell you what's the meaning I'm giving to it, you will now, and you have this knowledge, you will now understand that the meaning I'm giving to it was the meaning I gave to it even as a child. I'm unloved, I'm unvalued, I'm uncared for, I'm being disrespected and all
So
of that.
that event was just a trigger of what happened
When you were
a child.
And it has left an emotional wound. And just like wounds left unhealed and you keep pinching on it, will keep paining. Wounds actually develop into scar tissue sometimes. Wounds sometimes they become so rigid and then like they become numb. The scar tissues have become numb and all of that. So different things happen to wounds, just like real things happen to emotional wounds as well. So it's very good to start healing on those emotional wounds. That will help you to regulate faster, and you get less triggers over time. Mind you, these triggers will still come, but their intensity will not be as painful
As it used to be.
as a fresh wound.
Wow, interesting. Now, now I have learned deep breathing. I think I will take it further from here, and I will start practicing deep breathing because honestly, it's like I don't know. I'm trying to find the right word to use to describe how I felt when I was doing that deep breathing. Though it look as if it's a play, but it has a significant impact in how I was feeling and how I'm feeling right now. Now, before we start rounding up, let's look at what are the stages of emotional awareness. What are the stages of emotional awareness? Because you talked about triggered of what happened as a child. You are reacting to an event that happened not because of that event, but because of things that were not properly dealt with. So, what are the stages? Maybe, yeah, you know, in this part of the world, many of us have those kind of situations that weren't treated, and many of us were not even aware that what happened. We are not reacting to what happened. We are only reacting based on what we don't even know.
True.
So, what are the processes?
Okay. I have developed a model, my own model, and it's a 5-star model towards you getting emotionally well. The first is emotional awareness. So you need to be aware of these triggers. You need to be aware of these core wounds, these emotional wounds, those things that happen. You need to be aware. And secondly, emotional acceptance. You need to accept it. It's one thing to be aware, it's another thing to accept it. And then the third thing is literacy. When you've accepted it, so what next? You need to build literacy. You need to understand how to question it and how to process it and how to, what name is it called? Some people don't even know what name their triggers or their emotions are called. They think they're angry, but really they're actually grieving. And the grieving is the root cause, and then the anger is just the outcome. So you need to build literacy. And then you move on to regulation. When you understand what it is, then you begin to regulate. You begin to find systems on how to regulate your emotions. It's not a linear model. Sometimes you find yourself going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it's a process, and then you get to learn better about yourself. And then intelligence. Emotional intelligence is really finding out what is on the other person's mind, what's happening in your world, what's happening on the other side, what's causing that trigger. Because if you're not in touch with the other person's emotions, then it's not really going to make.
Okay.
But
Now,
if you could-
what you're saying is the person's intention is, if I'm right.
Yes.
Okay, the person's
Build
intention.
emotional intelligence,
Okay.
as in being empathic about the other person's thoughts or their perspective, not necessarily the intention anyway.
Okay.
Because the intention could be evil, but when you understand the perspective that this person too is also wounded, then that will give you empathy.
Empathy. Okay.
So build empathy as well. And then lastly, build fitness. Build your fitness will make you well. When you begin to regulate, when you begin to learn empathy, when you begin to build awareness and all, continue. That's your fitness exercise. Continue. Then look at your emotional wellness and bliss. This is an everyday process. So it's not something you go from stage 1 to stage 5 and you're like, oh, I'm done. every day. You do it every day. Just like you do bad habits unconsciously every day. It's high time we become intentional about good habits every day, every single day. And in no time, it becomes second nature.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish we have more time to actually delve more on
Yeah,
these
I really
things.
wish we do
honestly.
too.
Okay, as we round up now, what is your final word? What is your final word? and how can you are emotional awareness coach. What is your final word and how can you be reached?
My final words is to build emotional wellness and emotional bliss, you have to stay in the moment. You need to connect with yourself, connect with your inner core, connect with your inner being, either through meditation, either through deep breathing, either taking walks in nature, going out to nature, just take walks barefoot in nature, and sometimes even
What barefoot?
yeah,
Would they
barefoot.
think I'm I don't want
When you do that, when your foot is bare on the floor, you connect faster with nature.
Is
And
it
just the
wait,
sensation you felt
wait a
when you
minute,
did it.
within your house or you can do it outside your
You can do
house?
it outside your house, and
Okay.
you can actually go into nature and do that. Yeah. Don't please don't go into the bush.
No, 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 I'm not talking about the bush now.
Yes. It's somewhere safe to do that. Just the sensation you felt that deep breathing. That's the sensation it gives you when you actually go into nature and you the sole of your feet actually touches, natural green, well green grass and all of that.
Wow.
So connect with yourself, connect with your higher being, connect with the supernatural. That is the key to emotional wellness and bliss. And you can reach me on Instagram. My name is Cecitoyin on Instagram, on LinkedIn as well, Cecitoyin, across all social media platforms. Thank you.
Ceci, thank you very much for sharing your thought with us. It's always nice having you.
And it's always a pleasure being here as well. Thank you so much.
So, viewer, that's much we can take for today. I hope you enjoyed the practical aspect of the deep breathing. You can practice it in your home, and if you have some emotional or upheaval, you can actually practice all these things. I hope everything she says are practical. So there's nothing theoretical about what she has said. You can practice them, and you become a better emotional. Is it emotional well regulated or how will I?
Yeah, you can say emotional well regulated.
Well regulated being. So until I come your way same time next week. For now, bye bye.